How can I incorporate digital portfolios in high school? In my English Language Arts classroom, I have used a traditional paper portfolio to store and assess student written work. The portfolios provided an organizational and storage solution and very neatly kept track of both in-process and completed pieces. Portfolios also provided space to include both formative and summative assessment and evidence of a learning dialogue with the writer, peers, and teacher. Challenged to consider incorporating e-portfolios into a high school classroom, I would consider adding e-portfolios to replace the traditional paper portfolios. This format could be applicable in many subject areas, especially in those classes that have successfully used paper portfolios in the past. First, I would consider the technology available at my school, and in my case, I would begin with Google Apps for Education. E-portfolios at their most basic level can be used primarily as a storage space for written assignments and assessments. At this level, information can be stored in a file on a server, such as in Google Drive. The second stage of e-portfolios focuses on the e-portfolio as a workspace and includes a journal or reflection of the learning process online, in addition to the storage of the work. The dialogue with teachers may include formative feedback. Google Docs and Blogger can accommodate both of these requirements. The final e-portfolio option is to consider the e-portfolio as a showcase of work organized around learning outcomes and shared on a web page. This presentation can include both reflections of learning and goals for future learning. The teacher not only validates the student's self-assessment, but also provides formative assessment. Google Sites would accommodate the presentation of an e-portfolio. Understanding that I am new to e-portfolios, where would I begin? First, I would ensure that students could access their school-based Google Drive accounts. Here's what my Google Drive looks like. Students could use their Google Drive to store assignments and create folders to share their work. To create a folder, click on New, choose Folder. Simply name your folder and organize your work. If the assignments are collaborative, they can be shared with students. In fact, students can build assignments together using Google Docs. Google Docs is located here. For example, in order to research the question of Canadian identity, students could create a Google Doc and use this space to gather information. This collaboration could be shared with the teacher in order to receive feedback as the research proceeds. The teacher can provide formative assessment throughout the learning process. To share a document, simply open the document, as I've done here, and click Share. Then you will be prompted to enter the name or email addresses of those whom you wish to share it with. If this initial attempt at e-portfolios is successful, creating a space for student reflections would be the next step for my class as we continue to grow in new literacy assessment in our classroom.